Welcome to the Fantasy Addiction Network. Today we're talking the final game of Week 16, the Packers-Vikings. Over-under in this one, 47. And right now the Vikings are favored to win by 5.5. This one's kind of confusing to me. I do understand why the Vikings are favored to win at home, but overall I think that's a pretty high spread. I think this game will be pretty close. I do think the Packers still remain very likely to win this game. They've always played the Vikings tough. Going to be a very interesting game. From a fantasy perspective, I will admit this one could go in so many different directions. I'm really just trying to play the more sure options here and kind of shying away, because this could end up being a low score game, could be a high score game. Like, there's so many different ways that this game could end up turning out. So we're just trying to avoid risk here as much as we can. So anyway, that's why when we look at our starts, still starting Aaron Jones. I think Mike Boone makes a very good start this week with Cook and Madison likely out. Of course, you're starting Devante Adams, and I like Stefon Diggs a lot this week, but I'm trying to pivot off of both quarterbacks in this game, Cousins and Rodgers. Don't want to start Jamaal Williams. I'm trying to find someone other than Adam Thielen. Don't want to play any tight end in this game, Jimmy Graham, Kyle Rudolph, or Irv Smith. And I really don't want to play either defense here either. Again, from a running back spot, I think Mike Boone will get most of the work, so I'm not looking to Ameer Abdullah, and I'm not starting Alan Lazard or Geronimo Allison, Jake Kumaro, or any other wide receiver option here for the Packers. All right, well, let's look at both teams. We'll start with the Packers. Rodgers has been very inconsistent as of late. I do think he'll play well in this one, and I think this game ends up being pretty close, but not necessarily well enough to start him for fantasy, so avoid him if you can. On the running back side, Aaron Jones is going to get fed a lot in this one. He torched the Vikings in week 2, and that should just continue here. I'm not trusting Jamaal Williams anymore. He hasn't seen more than 50% of the snaps since week 6, and his target count has dropped down to 1 target in the past 2 weeks. I do know that Aaron Jones didn't get any targets last week either, but I do look for that to change this week. Aaron Jones has been a very pivotal part of the Packers offense, and if they have any hope of beating the Vikings, it'll be because of Aaron Jones and Devante Adams. On the wide receiver side, as we just mentioned, Devante Adams will be a big part of this game. I like him a lot. Not really starting anyone else in this game. Someone will likely have a good game, but good luck picking between Allison, Lazard, Kumaro, Valdez, Scantling. It's not worth the lottery. Go with Adams and no one else. Also not looking at any of the tight ends here, and there's too many variables and unknowns to really trust either defense in this one. It could be a high-score game in which you're not happy starting either defense here, so I'm just avoiding both if I can. Vikings side of the ball, Kirk Cousins doesn't have Cook to throw to in this one, and it's also a tough defense. This one could go in so many ways. If you have to start him, I think I actually like Cousins a little bit more than Rodgers from a fantasy perspective in this one, because Aaron Jones would definitely get more work on the ground. We'll see what Mike Boone can do, but I think they'll have to rely more on Kirk Cousins. Looking at the running backs, I definitely like Boone as a decent play in this one. He should be able to pick up and do a decent bit of what Dalvin Cook would be able to do. He's definitely not Dalvin Cook, but he should get the goal line work, and I think he's athletic enough that he warrants a high enough floor and a decent enough ceiling that he becomes at least a running back 2, if not a low-end running back 1 this week. So I like Boone a lot. On the receiver side, Diggs has a history of torching the Packers, but definitely carries a lower floor than usual because of this defense. I think Thielen looked pretty slow last week coming off of his injury, so I'm not banking on too much production. Doesn't mean that he won't have a good game. I'm just thinking there's probably a better option for you at this point. Since you've been without Thielen for so long, I'd probably continue trusting that other option. I'll start Diggs just because of his upside, but I'm hesitant with Thielen. I'm not looking to start either tight end here. The Packers have been pretty good against the tight end. Kyle Rudolph has been on a downtrend with Irv Smith getting the touchdown last week. It's just too hard to predict who's going to get the touchdown here if either do, so I'm not really looking to either option. Same thing with the defense here for the Vikings. Don't really know how this game is going to end up. I would rather just avoid division games for defense this week if I can. But anyway, I hope you guys found this useful. Hopefully that you guys win your fantasy titles this week. If you have any specific questions, feel free to comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help you with your lineup choices. If you guys did like this, feel free to like and subscribe for more content into the off season. We'll get you guys ready for next year as well. But go get that title. Good luck to you guys this week, and we'll see you in the next video.